Hi everyone, this is D Keys bringing you the DPS Staff Elementalist build that I'd recommend after the December 2013 patch. This build is one of the highest DPS builds currently in circulation because it has a decently high effective power, and its DPS rotation has a very high average damage coefficient per second. I would not recommend that an Elementalist run this build if he or she is the only Elementalist in the group, because it only provides about 70% Fury uptime and an average of about 4 stacks of Might for a group, so it can be a little bit of a DPS leech build in some party compositions. Such a DPS staff build is, however, an excellent build for a second Elementalist in a party. One Elementalist can run a Lightning Hammer build that doesn't use persisting flames and keep Might up simply by blasting the lava fonts that a Staff Elementalist will have up 100% of the time. The Staff Elementalist and a Warrior or Ranger can maintain 100% Fury uptime for the group. Note that this build does not take advantage of the full array of staff spells in battle because Fire is the only attunement that has a high DPS rotation. In dungeons, my party mates are expected to take care of themselves, and so a lot of the support that a staff offers in the other attunements is not needed in such groups. In groups that do need more support, a more versatile weapon such as Dagger Focus may be appropriate. The Adept and Master level minor traits in Fire aren't important to this build's DPS. The Adept minor has a chance to trigger when hit, which you want to avoid, and the Master level minor trait will trigger when attuning to Fire, which optimally is only at the start of battle. The Grandmaster minor trait, Burning Rage, is a 10% damage modifier on burning foes. The Adept level major, Internal Fire, is another 10% damage modifier when you are attuned to Fire. Since modifiers stack multiplicatively, these two traits are already a nice boost to this build's effective power. A large portion of this build's damage comes from the synergy between the Master level major trait, Pyromancer's Alacrity, which reduces the recharge on fire skills, and the Grandmaster major trait, Persisting Flames, which increases the duration of fire fields by 2 seconds. These two traits will allow a Staff Elementalist to keep a lava font up 100% of the time through a battle. This lava font is responsible for roughly half of this build's DPS. This build doesn't make use of the minor traits in Air, Earth, and Water all that much, but each of these trait lines have damage modifiers available at the Adept major level. Bolt to the Heart activates when an enemy's health is low, and Stone Splinters activates when you're within 600 range of an enemy. While the staff allows you to stand at 1200 range to attack enemies, you should be within 300 range of your allies and near your lava font and other fire fields so that you can blast them to provide might and fury to the group. In Water, Vital Striking is another bonus that operates just like the Scholar's Rune bonus. The minor in Arcana, Arcane Fury, grants 2 seconds of Fury on attunement swap, so again it won't see much use in this build. The Adept's level major trait, Blasting Staff, increases the radius of many spells by 60 units. In Fire, this affects Fireball, Lava Font, Flame Burst, and each Meteor of Meteor Shower, so not only will spells be more likely to hit its AoE cap of targets, it also gives the party a larger fire field in which to position blasts. In some party compositions where others are not bringing precision buffs such as Banner of Discipline or Spotter, Assassin's Armor is technically better for this build, but when you start including other party buffs, Berserker, Exotic Armor, or Ascended Mix Armor again wins out. My Exotic Armor set is full Berserker with Runes of the Scholar, and as I'm crafting my Ascended Armor set, I will be getting an Ascended Berserker shoulders, gloves, and boots, and an Assassin's helm, chest, and pants for that extra 3% crit chance. My trinkets are all Ascended Berserker, and my staff is Ascended with a superior Sigil of Force. If you'd like to go crazy with this build, you could also get staves with an Undead Slaying Sigil, and a Night Sigil for better dungeon customization. I also have stacking weapons for stacking precision, and bloodlust depending on my build and party composition. Most of the time with this build, I would stack precision and eat precision food. For general dungeoning, I would use candied dragon rolls or minotaur steaks, as well as potions of the appropriate slaying type. Or for fractals, I would use scale venom. If you're using sharpening stones or maintenance oils, choose maintenance oils. Whenever possible, I'll use the new heal skill, Arcane Brilliance, if I don't need a burst heal because it is a blast finisher and works with traits that proc on arcane skill use. I use Glyph of Elemental Harmony if I do need a burst heal because I can usually finish its channel before I need to dodge again. Or if I need condition removal, I'll take Ether Renewal. Signet of Restoration does not benefit this build very much because the rotation requires a very low number of actions per minute, so the passive from the Signet does not benefit you very much. My utilities are Signet of Fire, which grants 180 precision as its passive bonus, and Arcane Wave, which is a blast finisher. The third utility slot is open for what skill best suits a situation. In many cases, I'll take Arcane Shield. It is a stun breaker and will protect me from 3 attacks sustained over 5 seconds. Another defensive utility I might take is Mist Form, which is a 3-second invulnerability, and I will often use it while or just after starting a meteor shower channel or while rezzing an ally. If I need quick condition removal, I'll take Cleansing Fire, which will cure 3 conditions and will apply burning to nearby foes. Because I'm hitting so often with my spells, Glyph of Elemental Power is another interesting choice. Cast in Fire, my spells have a chance to inflict burning, which is the condition needed for one of the damage modifiers in this build. In Earth, it will cripple enemies, so casting it at the very start of battle will help my party mates kite an enemy around in melee. I'll also use Glyph of Storms in Earth Attunement at the beginning of a battle, because it applies blindness to up to 5 enemies every 3 seconds for the 10-second duration of the storm, and it doesn't lay down any fields that might work against the lava font. Signet of Earth is also a very situational skill that I'll take, because it has a 3-second immobilize as it's active. In general, it's a weaker choice than many of the other skills that I mentioned, but it has its uses. Sometimes a Conjure is a best choice for a utility. Lightning Hammer has a powerful auto attack chain that also includes a blast finisher and a cleave range blind. Or, if clearing groups of weaker enemies or large structures, I'll use Frostbow for its AoE, which is its skill 4 once conjured. My elite, in many cases, is Conjure Fiery Greatsword, but Glyph of Elementals, while cast in Earth Attunement, can provide a handy face tank. When running through trash, I will often swap to Arcane Shield, Mist Form, and Lightning Flash, or Cleansing Fire, depending on the mobs that I'll be running through. Staff also has many useful skills for trash running, and even if I'm running a different build, I'll sometimes swap to a staff for a long or difficult run. For stacking swiftness, use Eruption, then swap to air to place static field on top of the eruption. Use Arcane Wave and Arcane Brilliance if needed to stack more swiftness, and then finish off with Windborne Speed. This combination will give you about 45 seconds of swiftness. In water, if you need condition removal, you can cast Healing Rain to remove those conditions and apply regeneration without putting you in combat. For mob control, you can use Frozen Ground to slow your enemies, but it will put you in combat. Back in Earth, Magnetic Aura will reflect projectiles that land close to you, and you can use Shockwave to immobilize enemies, though it will put you in combat. You can also use Unsteady Ground to interrupt foes that are following you closely. You can also use Static Field to block enemies that are following you while putting you in combat. The rotation for this build is very simple. Start in Earth and place Eruption where you'll be fighting. Swap to fire as you're running in, and cast Lava Font on top of the eruption so that you get the blast finisher and the benefits from it. Begin channeling Meteor Shower, and cast Arcane Wave while you're still in the Lava Font. Once Meteor Shower has finished channeling, cast Arcane Brilliance, and by then Lava Font should be off cooldown. Cast Lava Font, and then auto attack 4 times. Repeat Lava Font and 4 auto attacks until Meteor Shower is off cooldown. Then cast Lava Font, Meteor Shower, Arcane Wave, and then when Meteor Shower is done channeling again, cast Arcane Brilliance. Then repeat Lava Font, and then 4 auto attacks. If you need to dodge, you of course can dodge, or you can use Burning Retreat to evade an enemy's attack. This works best if you happen to be able to evade into a wall so that you stack the fire field underneath the enemy. The key to this rotation is to keep Lava Font on the battlefield as much as possible. It has a very low cast time and low recharge time, but has a very high damage coefficient. With this build, I often keep auto attack on so that I can fit those 4 fireballs in as efficiently as possible. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section. Thanks for watching!